I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. Now, I got to talk about something, of course, just like the Thielen, the Kirk Cousins, etc., the McCarthy situation. It might be a little touchy, huh? Get Vikings fans a little in their feelings. You hear me? But guess what? I don't care. We're gonna break it down and keep it real and talk about what's debatable. Now, with some speculation, some rumors, some analysts, so-called expert analyst analysis, sportscasters, you get my drift, have said that it may make sense for the Vikings to potentially trade TJ Hockenson after this season. You hear me? So for 2025, the Vikings make a trade or release him. Now, I'm going to get into the article. Like I say, I'm going to really break it down, get at it. You know how Big Skull do. You hear me? But first off, now, this is debatable because you don't know really if the Vikings should look into trading him until we see how this season goes, right? If he even plays this season, dog, or if he don't play this season, the whole season, I'm talking about no return, dog. Now it could make sense for the Vikings to try to make a trade, get some draft capital for him, because his contract, I think he got 3 more solid years. You hear me? So even if they were to let him go, whatever, right? For some reason, right? They would have to bite a cap penalty, I believe, bite some money, some millions they would have to pay, dog. They would lose. You hear me? Would it be worth it? No, I'm just saying that if he doesn't return this season, like if he don't play at all, that's cause for concern. And Kwesi should be definitely looking at making moves, whether it's trade, etc. But there's some nice tight ends in the draft next year. You hear me? Some nice college tight ends, dog. So everything's on the table, dog. But TJ Hockenson, I wouldn't say you just get rid of him next year, trade him, looking to trade him, But like I say, if he doesn't play, you definitely think about it. Or if he returns and he's not the same player, he doesn't contribute the same way. I'm going to get into his stats in a minute. Bottom line is, that's a big question demand towards MCL and his ACL. Everybody's not AP. Everybody's not AP. You hear me? The question is, can he bounce back? Can he play at that high level? To me, I don't think he's a top 5 tight end. I don't think he's a top 5 tight end. Even with his great stats last season, I don't say tight end, top 10, top 5 tight end. I think he's getting overpaid. But at the end of the day, you can't sit and dwell on it, correct? But moving forward, it's going to be very intriguing if he's the same player. If he's that same weapon, did he lose a step? Will he lose speed? Obviously, this is going to be a long rehab journey for him, and he can get through it if he wants to, if he stays zoned in, puts the work in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say it again, reiterate it. Everybody's not Adrian Peterson, dog. We've seen numerous players, just succumb to injuries and never bounce back, dog. Vikings got a couple on the roster now. It's going to be very interesting to see how these guys bounce back. Guys like Cam Akers, TJ Hockenson, you hear me? James Lynch tore his ACL. So Hockenson, Big Hawk, not the only one. But to me, I definitely think, dog, you hear me, that if he doesn't play up to expectation or he doesn't play at all, it's room to think about for the Vikings to maybe potentially make a move. It's always tight ends in the draft, homie. It's going to be some good ones in there next year. So Hockenson could be moved. They could move off of Hockenson. Some people be like, oh, why? That's bull crap. How you going to Hockenson this, Hockenson that? He's one of the best tight ends. All right. Is he top 5? Not in my opinion. Is he top 5 in yours? Let me know. Fire them comments up. You hear me? Feedback is much appreciated. But if you're not a top 5 tight end, you can be a maneuver, dog. Yeah. You don't play up to par? Huh? You don't continue to contribute at a high level? Progress every year? Yeah, you get up out of there. That's part of the business. That's a side of it. Recycling, yeah. It's just what it is. No hard feelings. No negative wishes toward Hockenson, even though I think he played real soft at times. Yeah, I think at times he plays soft as cotton, soft as Charmin. You hear me? Let a cornerback take the ball out your hands. I don't respect it, dog. Here. That's just my take on it, homie. No disrespect to him once again. But at the end of the day, you ask me, man, Hockenson got to perform. Hockenson has to perform at a high level, dog. At a high level, period. You understand? I understand it's going to be a process for him. I get that it's going to take some time, so you don't just make it a abrupt decision right away. No, it's going to take some time. But the analysis who said, oh, maybe they should think about trading Hockenson if he doesn't play or if he's not the same, can you say they're wrong for that? You hear me? Now, some of the trades I heard were ridiculous. Ridiculous, dog. Cap, kill that noise. But it is a possibility. Let's really think about it. Get out your feelings, get out your emotions, like Vikings fans tend to do, and think about what's really best for the Vikings, dog. Heavy, huh? What would it look like trading TJ Hockenson, dog? Let's get into the article, man. Yeah, man, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You hear me? Give me a second. You hear me? Definitely some questions with Hockenson, man. I've been saying it, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be shocked if you don't see that man on the field. Don't be shocked if you don't see that man on the field. You hear me? It's just what it is. We're going to get into the article right now, though, man. Does it make sense or what? Oh, we got Fornez in the building again. So I guess he's talking about what some analysts said, huh? NFL analyst has insane take about Minnesota Vikings star pass catcher. I don't know about insane, Fornez. I don't know about insane, huh? The Minnesota Vikings made a major move to bring in tight end TJ Hockenson at the 2022 trade deadline by swapping second and third round picks for Hockenson and 2 fourth-round picks. They doubled down on that investment by signing him to a record contract for a tight end. Hockenson was having a great season before tearing his ACL. Hey, no disrespect to him. You can't knock that. You can't knock that, dog. He was having a solid season as far as stats and numbers. Can't take that away. But I'm going to break it down in a different way, though, dog. Tearing his ACL in week 16 against the Detroit Lions. Hockenson had 95 receptions for 960 yards and 5 touchdowns before he went down with injury. Now, you look at that as a tight end, 95 receptions, 960 yards, 5 touchdowns. We're going to see where he ranked in a minute. We're going to see where he ranked in a minute among tight ends. Now, most people will look at those numbers and say, hey, that's great for a tight end. That's elite. Okay, how was he in big moments? How was he in certain spots? You hear me? The tough catches, what was the ratio of incompletions to completion, dog? How many balls did he drop? You hear me? Now, respect Hop. He played through that injury, played through that nagging, grueling back injury he had. I respect him for that. Can't take that away from the man. You hear me? He played through it. I respect him for that. But I question his heart sometimes. I've been said it. I stand on it 10 toes down, dog. I'm rooting for the guy, but I question his heart sometimes and his softness. I think he's soft sometimes. Dog. Even versus the Chargers, huh? When the cornerback ripped the ball out his hands, you hear me? Ripped the ball, strong-armed him, set the whole tone for the game. And the Vikings were driving. You hear me? No, my bad. That was the Chiefs game. Right? Or was it the Chargers? Might have been both. Did he fumble both? Might have been the Chargers game where dude ripped it up out of there, dog. Game costing turnovers potentially. And he dropped some big game-winning touchdown passes, dog. And I don't like the way he handled himself last training camp, sitting out, making up lies, just waiting for a big payday. That Guapino couldn't keep it real, huh? So the stats are cool, heavy, but at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins had great stats. Did he ever win a big game for the Vikes? Besides one, and like I say, the defense held them in that game, you hear me? Come on, bro. Could the Minnesota Vikings move on from TJ Hockenson? A to Z Sports Mike Payton believes that the Vikings should consider moving on from Hockenson if he has a down season because they are in their rebuild. Well, I agree with part of it. First thing is that we talk about rebuild. It's not full rebuild. It's kind of competitive rebuild, correct? We're talking about a competitive rebuild. You hear me? So it's not a full-on rebuild. So TJ Hockenson is a major piece of the offense, dog. So if the Vikings are trying to continue to compete, stay competitive, make the playoffs, etc., of course they would keep him in the building. KOC would want him if he plays at a high level. But once again, solid, great point. If he has a season, it is something to consider, dog. Should they get rid of him? Should they maneuver while they can, homie? No disrespect, is part of the business, dog. If he's not the same player, what benefit will he be for the Vikings, homie? Period. You can get mad, emotional, you can get in your feelings, but let's be real here. Think about the truth, huh? Like I said, a lot is going to depend on how he performed this season. That's just what it is, though. It might not happen anytime soon, but the Vikings can make a move as early as after the 2024 season if Hockenson has a bad year. Hawkinson's salary in 2025 becomes guaranteed on the 15th of June 2024. So they would have to make a move this year, yeah. Well, it's already guaranteed. So his money is guaranteed, period. So it's past the 15th of June. So he gets that guapino. If they move him in a trade ahead of then, they would have to pay out 10 mil in dead cap. See, like I say, they're going to have to pay a fee. They're going to have to pay a fee. The question is, will it be worth it? Will they acquire enough, so say draft capital for it to be worth it? Huh? Gonna have to wait and see, dog. But they save a lot of money down the road. And Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah has shown to be someone who likes to save money. Yeah. I mean, what has he been working with? He's had no choice but to try and save money, make it stretch, dog. Period. The Vikings could then take their Sam Laporta shot with Michigan's Colston Loveland in the 2025 NFL draft and pair him back up with JJ McCarthy. Well, it's not for sure that he will be there. He will be available. We don't know what position the Vikings will be in during next year's draft. So he's kind of speaking too soon. This guy A to Z, Mike Payton, you're speaking too soon. You're speaking on Vikings business too soon, dog. Kill that noise, cat. That's way ahead. 2025 draft, you hear me? That's way in the future, homie. Who knows how the season is going to pan out? What if the Vikings win their Super Bowl? Huh, Peyton? What if the Vikings make a playoff run? I'm not saying they will, but Mike Peyton? So how do you know Mike Peyton? Are you assuming the Vikings will lose 5 and 6, only win 5 to 6 games? I understand everybody disrespects him, so I get it. We don't know yet. Too soon to speak about what this, what that. He would be on a rookie deal and would be a lot cheaper for the Vikings. Cheaper is good since Jordan Addison is probably going to get paid big in the near future. Well, Addison's going to get his guapino. Everybody's going to get paid if they play it right, and the Vikings will be acquiring more money in the salary cap, so it's all good. Excuse me. There are multiple things wrong with what Peyton says. Facts, though. First off, Hockenson's 2025 salary fully guaranteed on March 18th, not on June 18th. Moving on from him doesn't make any financial sense. Yeah, well, his money is already guaranteed, so in a financial sense of it, I mean, it's no longer about financial. It's about trying to get a better piece. You know, if he's not the same, that's my whole thing. It's not about financial. It will be about improving the team, dog, if he's not the same caliber tight end. So as far as money, who cares? Kill that noise. We talking about, is it worth making a move if he's not the same player he used to be, dog? That's the whole thing for Nez. That's the focus here. If he has a down season, he can't bounce back from that ACL tear, MCL tear as well, then that's when tough decisions have to be made. Period. It's not about financial. Even they will take a financial hit. You hear me? But it's not about financial, dog. That's secondary, dog. Period. Secondly, the idea of Adolfo-Mensah liking to save money doesn't mesh with what he did in extending both Hockenson and wide receiving Justin Jefferson. That's definitely true. Got a point there, especially with Hockenson. Now I'm cool with the Jettas thing, 35 mil a year. That was the max for me. I believe that's enough, dog. But Hockenson, if anybody's overpaid, is Hockenson heavy. So he's proved, yeah. I mean, he saved money when he needs to save money, but he will spend money as well, dog. But you can't really save money when you're paying your best players. Jefferson had to get a certain amount. What he was going to do, pay Jettas 25 mil a year for Nez, huh? No. So sometimes you can save money, sometimes you can't, dog. With Hockenson, man, I think they could have saved more money, but whatever, they gave in. It is what it is. He paid both of them top of the market money. Adolfo-Mensah will pay big money for players who are worth it. That's the question. Duh, Sherlock. No shit, Sherlock. Is Hockenson worth it? Is Hockenson still worth it, dog? That's the question, dog. Period. That's something we all have to see. We all have to wait for. That's the biggest problem. Everybody can give their opinions, assumptions, but at the end of the day, who really knows until he's back on the field or isn't back on the field, dog? That's the bottom line. Lastly, the idea that the Vikings can just find a Sam Laporta is asinine. That's true, but the Lions did it. The Niners did it, huh? Period. So if the Vikings scouts do their job, it's tight ends. Every year is a tight end is found, homie. Here. So, of course, you can't just find a Sam Laporta, just he'll fall into your lap. That's what any star player, dog. Any star rookie, homie. You can't just go find another Jettas. Duh. You can't just go find another whoever. That goes for every player, dog. Hands down, man down, period. It's about taking a chance, dog, but it will be tight ends in the drafts. Tight ends often don't break out until year 3 or 4 due to the difficult nature of the position. It's one of many reasons why the Vikings traded for Hockenson in the first place. He was a sure thing, and the cost wasn't very high to acquire a top 5 tight end in the NFL. Well, you think he's top 5? I don't. I respect him. I wish him the best, but I don't think he's a top 5 tight end, dog. Period, dog. Is he close to George Kittle? Would you take? We can break it down. I mean, I don't know each top 5er, but let's just do top 3. Would you take him over George Kittle? Kittle, no skittle, no. The tight end from the Falcons, I ain't even see him play for real, but I'm saying no. Sam Laporta, let's just do that there. No. Period, got to be real here. Also, why would the Vikings move on from one of their best offensive weapons with J.J. McCarthy about to take the helm? Once again, how do we know he's the best weapon? Once again, Fornez, we don't know if he's the best weapon. Period, dog. It's yet to be proven. The man is coming off an ACL, MCL injury. The man didn't even take a step on the field during OTAs, dog. He might not even get through training camp. You hear me? Preseason, etc. That's the whole point, Fornez. We don't know if he's that same weapon. And at the end of the day, yes, he was a weapon, but was he really their biggest weapon? I say he's their third biggest, dog. Jefferson, Addison, then Hockenson. It's been plenty of games when Jetta was out. Hockenson on lockdown. Hockenson on lockdown. You hear? Period, dog. And once again, don't cry, baby, cry babies. This is nothing against Hockenson, but we got to keep it real here. You hear me? Come on, bro. It was numerous games. Everybody was on lock, dog, heavy. Numerous games, Hockenson dropped big catches, dropped a big touchdown pass against the Chargers. You hear me? A lot of games he took the soft route, dog. So let's be real, Fornez, period, dog. Period. Bottom line, dog. Want to throw up McCarthy. McCarthy's job is to throw to whoever's there. I understand the weapons part, but I mean McCarthy behind Mullins right now. Let the inside scoop people speak on it. You hear me? So McCarthy might not even touch the field, homeboy. You hear me? So what's really good here? You want to support your young quarterback with great players around him, not take them away. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But once again, how do we know McCarthy's going to take the helm this season, and how we know Hockenson going to play? So, like I say, I don't care how much talent you have. If you're not on the field available, what does it mean, Fornez? Let me know, dog. Heavy. Hear me, bro. Period. Bottom line, man. None of this makes one iota of sense, and the Vikings shouldn't entertain it for a second. I'm gonna say cap on that. I'm gonna say it could potentially be entertained. Yeah. I'm going to say it's something that the Vikings could potentially entertain, like I said, depending on how this season goes. And that's all anybody can lean on and rely on. You have to wait and see how it pans out with Hockenson. Is he even available, dog? Does he run one route this season, dog? Period. That's the bottom line. So everybody chatting this, chatting that, chatty patty, dog. Chatty patty, huh? Yeah. No one knows for certain, dog. It's all a guess, all an assumption, huh? Give your opinions. But me personally, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think TJ Hockenson will be on that field this season, dog. Heavy. He showed me enough last season when he missed half of training camp, most of training camp, made up these little goofy lies about his injuries. You hear me? Infection, his back, talking about my back, his back. You hear me? So I don't think he will put himself at risk. Heavy. Let me know how you feel about it, man. Feedback is much appreciated. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Make sure you hit that bell. You hear me? Big Skull here. Skull Vikes forever, dog. Heavy.